open session. Our first thing on the agenda is taking positive steps of service award.
Yeah, that's me. All right. So Amy, why don't you come on up?
Okay.
All right, for the month of April, I would like to recognize Amy Christensen for going above and beyond to organize the Washington, D.C. trip for our students and chaperones. On March 12th, 70 students and chaperones loaded 2 buses in the Lodi Middle School parking lot and left at 5 a.m. And that was daylight savings time, by the way, too. The trip began in Washington, D.C., then continued to Mount Vernon and Colonial Williamsburg, and wrapped up in Jamestown and Yorktown. Staff and students visited memorials including the Vietnam, Korean, Lincoln, FDR, Martin Luther King Jr., Air Force, World War II, and Jefferson. In addition, they toured the Capitol Building, National Archives, Ford's Theater, Holocaust Museum, Smithsonian Museums, and National Cathedral. All these opportunities are made possible due to the diligent and detailed planning and preparation that Amy Christensen does. On behalf of our students, parents, and community, I want to thank you for all your work you do leading up to the trip and during the trip to make the best experience possible for our students. Your organization and communication throughout the process sets this trip up for success, and our students benefit with a trip of a lifetime. Thank you for your continued work in providing this opportunity for our students, and I know you've already started planning for next year's excursion.
Never ends.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Graham,
Thank you.
for supervising the superintendent. The last time I went to
Right,
Washington, D.C.
That's right.
Right?
Awesome.
Extra.
Awesome, thank you
Anything
so
you want to
much.
say?
Yeah, just love being a part of this opportunity that allows students to see the social studies curriculum come to life in front of their eyes, and also to show students the start of all the travel opportunities that we have in this district. So, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah?
Usually we do that. I don't want Amy to miss out on that.
I did when you were reading.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Ready?
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amy, thank you so much.
Sure. All right, we have one more. Taking Positive Step for Service Award. Anna Legend, would you come forward, please? So, Anna, this is her last board meeting because she's graduating. But you're more than welcome to come back and hang out this summer.
I definitely will.
Yeah, but we are so fortunate that the students selected such a well-rounded young lady who was able to come and sit on the board and add to our discussions and give input and share what's going on at the high school and across the district. So we really appreciate your work and taking time and representing everybody. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we're going to increase your pay by $100,000.
Thank you.
Take a picture with Mr. John. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Anything you'd like to say?
Well, thank you guys for the opportunity to give students voices. I know that, as you can see, a lot of students do like to bring their voices and share their opinions with you guys. So thank you for giving, the students a way to do that.
All right, next we have a presentation of forensics performance.
We do have a presentation. So Natalie Hack is here. Natalie is a senior who has been on the forensics public speaking team for 3 years. She's earned a perfect score, gold medal at the WISDAA State Forensics Tournament in April. There are 17 categories in high school forensics that students can choose from. Tonight she'll be performing her prose speaking piece, Radio Silence. The category of prose speaking contains one or more works of literature, including short stories, cutting from novels, drama, essay, or other non-fictional work centering on a specific theme or emotion. The presentation is read from a manuscript. So, Natalie.
Hello. I hope somebody is listening. I'm sending out this call via radio signal. Long outdated, I know, but perhaps one of the few methods of communication the city has forgotten to monitor in a dark and desperate cry for help. Things in Universe City are not what they seem. I cannot tell you who I am. Please just call me Radio. Radio Silence. I am, after all, only a voice on the radio, and there may not be anyone listening. I wonder, if nobody is listening to my voice, am I making any sound at all? Radio Silence is a novel by Alice Osman released in 2016. It touches on issues like abusive households, rejection of queer individuals, and what happens when you lose your true family. The main character's best friend, Aled Last, is the creator of his own viral podcast, Universe City, where he speaks both directly and indirectly on these issues in the form of a dystopian, futuristic radio show to his lost love, whom he calls February Friday. These excerpts show Alad's emotional roller coaster and Alice Osman's radio silence. Episode 15, Computer Magic. A spot of computer magic. That's really all it needs, friends. When you live in a city as big as this, how else are you to communicate but by computer magic? The governor's recently repaired all the pipes, one of the few good things they've done for us recently. I swear, I can feel something evil about them, but ignorance is bliss, I suppose. I've got contacts all over the place. More useful than friends, really. I have eyes and ears everywhere. I see and hear everything. I'm ready for whatever they're going to throw at me, and I know they're going to throw something at me. I've seen it in my dreams and in my fortune mirror. I can see it from a mile away, from 10 miles away. It's from 10 miles away. It's coming. But I have computer magic on my side. I have my friends, no, contacts. Way more valuable, old sport, I really am telling you. There's magic under our feet, not just in our eyes. Episode 32, Cosmic Noise. I think by now, February, we've, as they say, lost touch. Not that we ever actually touched in the first place. In the end, I'm still only ever looking where you've looked. I'm only ever walking where you've walked. I'm in your dark blue shadow, and you never seem to turn around to find me there. I wonder sometimes whether you've exploded already, like a star, and what I'm seeing is you 3 million years into the past, and you're not here anymore. How can we be together here, now, when you're so far away, when you're so far ago? I'm shouting so loudly, but you never turn around to see me there. Perhaps it is I who have already exploded. Either way, we are going to bring beautiful things into the universe. Episode 132, Phone. I hid for 47 minutes exactly. I had my moonometer with me, in the telephone box by the power station on Tomsby Street. Nobody thinks to look for anyone there. Everyone knows the box is haunted. I don't want to talk about what I saw. While I was hiding and waiting, I was also thinking and deciding. Was I going to let the cyborg chase me forever? Was I going to have to turn my back every 2 minutes to check for those marble eyes and spitting circuits? No. That's no way to live. Not even in the vicious, cruel barricades of the city of the universe. I can take a little beating now and then, old sport, believe me. I've been in this city as long as I can remember, it seems. This hardly qualifies as a distress call anymore. By God, if anyone was listening, I would have heard from you by now. I can take a little beating now and then. I'm a tough one. I'm a star. I'm steel-chested and diamond-eyed. Cyborgs live, and then they break, but I will never break. Even when my bone dust drifts over the city walls, I'll be living and I'll be flying. I will wave and laugh. Episode 140. Fine. I wonder why you're even listening to this in the first place. Are you just turning on your radio each week to listen to some funny story about silly old radio and their friends zapping a new monster like we're the bloody 26th century Scooby-Doo gang? I can see you now, having a right old laugh to yourselves while we are here slowly dying from the city fumes, being murdered in our sleep. I bet you have the power to contact us, but you just can't be bothered. Have you even been listening to anything I'm saying? You're just the same as everyone I knew in the old world. You can't be bothered to do anything. Episode 141, Nothing Day. Every week, something happens and it feels strained. The truth is, old sport, sometimes there just isn't anything to report. Sometimes I might even exaggerate a bit just so I have something exciting to say. Like that time I told you I surfed the Bot 22 down to Lefley Square. Well, that was a lie. It was only about 18. I lied. I really, really lied, and I am so sorry. I feel a bit like about 18 sometimes. Old and rusty, aching and sleepy, wandering through the city, lost, circling, alone. No gears left in my heart, no code whirring in my brain, just kinetic energy, being pushed on gently by the forces. Sound, light, dust waves, the quakes. I'm lost as ever, friends. Can you tell? I'd like it if someone were to rescue me soon. I'd like that. I'd like that very much indeed. Episode 142. Yes. I don't know, I'm getting a bit tired. So I was walking yesterday evening down Brockenborn Street and I saw this phosphorescent... You know what, it actually doesn't even matter. I was thinking actually, I had a thought. I was thinking, what if we were to end this? No, sorry, that's not. I do wish February Friday were here. I haven't seen them in, well, years upon years. Episode 1, Dark Blue. I am not in love with you, but you, my friend, I want to tell you everything. Long ago, I was afflicted with a terrible predisposition to never say a word, and I honestly cannot understand how or why that happened. But there is something about you which makes me wish I could speak like you do. I've watched you from afar, and you really are the best person I have met in my whole life. You possess the ability to make people listen to you without question, even if you don't often use it. I almost want to be you. Does that make sense? I bet it doesn't. I'm just rambling on. I'm sorry. Anyway, I hope when one day we meet again, you'll listen to me and pay attention. I do not have anyone else to whom I could say these things. Then again, you might not be listening now. Who am I to tell you to do anything? I'm not. I am nothing. But you? Oh, you. Why, I'd listen to you for hours. Thank you.
Natalie, before you go too far, a couple questions. So, when do you practice this? When do you practice forensics?
I actually haven't practiced at all the last 2 years. I kind of just get on the bus for the first tournament and I read it through a couple of times and I'm like, oh, it's fine. Probably good enough.
Natural.
Well, she'll practice after school sometimes.
I think it was once this year. Yeah.
And how many times do you perform this piece?
Probably 9 or 10. Yeah. Maybe a couple more. Maybe a couple less. I don't know. Somewhere in there. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. Natalie actually was not originally scheduled to be here tonight. She is a fill-in. Somebody was sick, so she today was asked and showed up. So we really appreciate you coming and showing us. We get to talk about students a lot, things that are going on, but we don't always get to see them perform. And so we really appreciate you being here and representing the forensics team. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have public content. The purpose of the public input agenda item is for citizens and staff of the School District of Lodi to provide comments on any agenda item or to publicly address the Board of Education on items that pertain to school business. The portion of the meeting during which the comment of the public is invited shall be limited to 10 people unless extended by a vote of the board prior to beginning a public input portion of the meeting. The amount of time allotted to each speaker will generally not exceed 3 minutes. If the speaker has questions for the board, they will be duly noted and responses will be provided in an appropriate manner, but the board cannot respond to individual questions or individual comments as part of the public input agenda item. As an additional reminder, the board cannot take action on any item that is brought forth during the public input session or on any item that was not posted on the meeting agenda. If you are providing comments, we would merely ask that you please come to the microphone and state your name and a municipality of residence. And we will now call on those that have signed up. And Xander Kellogg is first.
Where do you want me?
You can sit right here if you want.
Okay.
And then just say your full name. I mean, we just obviously, Xander Kellogg, I said it, but you can just say where you live, town, city.
Hello, I'm Xander Kellogg. I'm a freshman here at Lodi. I've been playing lacrosse with socks since 3rd grade, and I have loved it ever since I first picked up a stick. I was first introduced to the sport by a couple of Lodi alumni who played lacrosse with sock and even played an important role when sock lacrosse won the state championship in 2017. I have seen many others from Lodi play lacrosse with sock, and some even go on to college to play lacrosse. I have dreamed of playing a sport after high school, and I am starting to realize that I have the potential to play lacrosse in college. I have put years of dedication and countless hours of training into the sport, and it would be devastating if that was taken away from me. Taking away lacrosse would take away my chance of being an athlete after high school. This co-op has allowed me to meet many kids from other schools and be part of a team that has supported me so much over the years. I couldn't imagine my world without lacrosse, and I would be extremely heartbroken if I had to live without it. Now I ask of you please to help me reach my goals and allow me to keep playing the sport that I love.
Thank you. Next, we have Hayden Struce Clark.
Hello, I am Hayden Struce Clark and I go to Lodi High School. I'm a freshman at Lodi High School, and I have been playing lacrosse for SOC since 3rd grade and have been waiting a long time to play high school lacrosse. It's my favorite sport and a big part of my life. The lessons that I have learned from my lacrosse team coaches has shaped me into the person that I am today. I have met many people and made many friends through lacrosse. Taking lacrosse away would have a negative impact not only on me personally, but also on the SOC lacrosse program and my team members. Not getting the opportunity to play lacrosse after all the hard work and time I've put in, not getting to play through my senior year would be a huge disappointment. While I understand that disappointment is part of my life, I really feel like this is something within my control, within our control. Lacrosse is one of the fastest growing sports, and our turf is already been painted for lacrosse. So not getting the opportunity to play lacrosse and play here in Lodi as part of a co-op seems like a wasted opportunity for the school, its students, and its community. Lacrosse is also one of the easiest sports to get a D1 scholarship for, which helps provide additional athletic opportunities for students who might not have otherwise. I hope that the board is able to find a way to let me finish my high school career as an athlete in the sport I love for the last 7 years.
Thank you. Thank you. We have Colton Mefford.
Hello, my name is Colton Mefford. I'm a senior at Lodi High School. I'm a 4-year lacrosse player at Sauk Prairie Lacrosse. I've played lacrosse since I was 4th grade, all year round, 2 different schools and 5 different club teams. This sport has been a big part of my life and my parents' lives. Freshman year, when I had switched schools and changed my life, I'd meet many new people, and those people included the people at Sauk. I'd meet new friends, new coaches, who gave me different perspectives and bonds I wouldn't have had otherwise. This experience has caused me to create many memories of people that I would have not known if I had not been given the chance. In addition, the spring season of lacrosse is definitely my favorite season, and is the most important, compared to fall, summer, and winter with my other club teams. I would always be more excited to play for the school team and get support from my other students and SOC students, and instead of playing at tournaments where they can't come to like Chicago and Indiana. If I had not been given the opportunity to play lacrosse in the spring, I think it would have changed my life entirely. I would have been forced to play other sports that I did not want to, and probably would have decided to not play on my other club teams and not create all the memories I had with those club teams. Lodi should allow the students to play lacrosse with SOC because it is a minority of students that play lacrosse. It doesn't take a lot of students out of Lodi sports. It allows for students to get more options. It creates connections between students in different communities, and it helps grow a smaller sport that is growing in Wisconsin right now. In addition, I feel it is unfair for a student going to Lodi to not be given the option for themselves to choose rather than the option have already decided by someone else. All in all, allowing kids to play will give students more opportunities and not restrict transfer students like me being able to continue playing. This will also help to connect the high school communities in the future. Having lacrosse as an option in my high school career was an amazing opportunity for me, and it should be an amazing opportunity for other students in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Joanne Mefford.
Not really public speaker, but I claim that one for now. Senioritis is sitting in. He's a good kid. I also have an alumni 2019, Jordan Mefford, who sent maybe, I don't know if he followed up and sent you an email. I will make sure he does too afterwards, but he had sent an email as well. He went through 4 years of lacrosse with SOC, and obviously we're on year 8. And I just want Hayden and, oh my gosh, forget, sorry. Xander. So sorry, nerves. I just want them to have the same opportunity that my kids had. Huge part of our family's life. It saved us in the pandemic because it was the one activity our entire family was able to do. I just want them to have the opportunity. We love the fact that they can be part of Lodi's community, but then also be connected to a nearby community and connect and be with friends here, but connect with other kids there. So I said some of this at the last meeting too, but it's just been a great opportunity for our family and for us. Unfortunately, my children took after me and not my 6'3" husband. So football, basketball, in middle school, great, not so much high school. So to be able to play lacrosse their entire high school career and go on to, our oldest son did play in fall for UW Badgers. Colton intends to play for UW Badgers this fall, so, and next spring. So it's just, it opens up a lot of opportunities, as do other sports, but if your school doesn't have the sport that you play, it's kind of a missed opportunity for them. And so I'm just here to kind of hopefully booster to again give Xander and Hayden the opportunity that my kids had these past 8 years.
Thank you so much. All right, we have the consent agenda items. Items in this section will be adopted as a group unless a board member requests a specific item to be removed from consent agenda and addressed separately. So we have our approval of minutes. We have our vouchers, payroll checks, direct deposits, accounts payable checks, automated clearinghouse payments, credit card payments. We have fundraiser request, German exchange brat stand fundraiser and girls soccer telethon fundraiser. We have no fundraiser reports and no field trip request. We have committee recommendations for approval. Personnel committee was support staff compensation, WEA auto homeowners insurance, business office configuration, staff handbook revisions. Under other, we have nothing. We have no retirements, but we do have resignations for JV2 volleyball coach, K through 12 literacy department chair, high school special education teacher, 8th grade science teacher, play director, robotics club coach, math team advisor, junior class advisor, 2nd grade teacher, and middle school administrative assistant. Under co-curricular, we have volunteer soccer coach, middle school volleyball coaches, high school assistant volleyball coach to middle school assistant volleyball coach, Spanish exchange trip, co-coordinator, 8-day extended contract for school psychiatrist, 8-day extended contract for student services coordinator, and fair coordinator. And we do not have anything under crew. For regular staff, we have 49 summer school teachers, 30 summer school educational assistants, summer cleaning crew, summer grounds crew, high school special education long-term substitute, life skills teacher, elementary school OSC social worker / counselor, 4th grade teacher. We have 2 5th grade teachers, primary school, elementary school music teacher, high school counselor, high school math teacher, high school special education teacher, benefits specialist, and lead maintenance. And under personnel, we have 8 requests for leave without pay request.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented with the addition of the approval of Natasha Hybing as lead maintenance and approval of administrative contract modification.
I'll second that. Motion by Christie, second by Terry. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0. All right, under our communications, we have administrative reports. Curriculum report.
Well, I guess go first tonight. My very first item on there is just, again, giving us an update on our community classroom connection partnerships. We've had it for 2 years now. We continue to grow that. And there's just some wonderful pictures in there of different regional business partners or service organizations that have connected with our classrooms. And just wanted to give a board an update on that. So we just finished up our final meeting with that PPG group, and they feel really good about the connections that they've been able to make and continuing some of those into next school year. The second part is something that I know the primary elementary OSC will highlight as well, and that is we are coming upon our 23-24 elementary OSC literacy program adoption. So we have been having ongoing communications with our curriculum committee of our board and our literacy team of teachers at the elementary school and OSC. We've been having various vendors coming in. We've been reviewing curriculum, and that team needs to make their final decision tomorrow to bring that recommendation to the curriculum committee of the board on the 17th. It's very exciting for that building. It's been over a decade since we've updated the elementary literacy curriculum. And then the last piece is just the hiring season is upon us. So as you saw in your agenda tonight, you have approved a number of items, and I want to recognize that for our principal team here, they spend a lot of time after hours, after school, reviewing applicants, calling applicants, setting up interviews, and then for our teachers too, we have teachers who are volunteering time to sit on interview committees into the evenings, taking time away from their family, and I feel really good about the individuals that we're bringing to the district. In my time as administrator, which has been over a decade, I've seen continued diminishing applicant pools for teachers. And we've seen that here in Lodi as well, and that's just the nature. We see less people going into education and institutes of higher education to become teachers. But the one thing I'm really impressed with is even though we've seen diminishing applicant pools, we have had some really high quality applicants here in Lodi, people that we're really excited about. And I just thought this was telling. We recently had a position that popped up, and somebody out there who's looking to apply for that position, they sent a really nice email to myself and the principal, and a statement they had in that email just said, "Lodi's reputation for excellence can't be ignored." Just wanted to highlight that.
That's awesome. Thank you, Nick. LCAT report?
All right.
What's going on?
Yeah. There it is. So, LCAT conducted a youth risk behavior survey presentation to the City of Lodi Public Safety Committee on May 2nd, 2023. LCAT partnered with Activate Lodi to hold the second annual Stride with Lodi Pride event. This event, and these guys will talk about that too, this event took place on Thursday, May 4th, and was held on the school track and on the Ice Age Trail. Students from the primary, elementary, and middle schools participated in this event. Sponsorship for this event included 27 businesses and community groups. Community members and leaders were invited to walk with the students to show their Lodi pride. Columbia County Sheriff Roger Brandner and one of his K-9 units came to the event to cheer the students on. Mayor Ann Gross-Lloyd, Lodi Police Chief Wayne Smith and staff, along with Lodi EMS Chief Russ Schaefer and his staff were present during the event. Everyone had a great time. The FACT Group participated in the German pep rally, which took place on Friday, May 5th. The FACT Group provided their peers with information about what FACT is and what it does in the school and community. Paul and Adria submitted the DPI AODA grant. If selected, the school will receive $15,000. This grant was submitted on April 21st, and we will know in June if it has been awarded to the district. LCAT will conduct an Narcan training for the community on Tuesday, May 16th, 2023, from 1 p.m. to 1:30, I think it might be longer, p.m. at Reach Out Lodi. Everyone is invited. Please spread the word. LCAT will be holding their annual Community Lodi Pride Awards event on Wednesday, May 31st at 9 a.m. This event will take place in the boardroom at the district office. Please plan to attend this event to support all the award winners. LCAT received an additional $300 grant from the American Lung Association for the in-depth program for a total of $900 in grants received this year. LCAT is sponsoring a community art event with the FACT Group and the City of Lodi. The Art in the Park event will take place on Friday, August 11th, 2023. Youth from the community will be able to show or sell their art at this event. The event is in the planning stages and more information will be provided in the future. And finally, the National Night Out will take place this year on Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. More details will be available for the event in the future. Please plan to attend this great Lodi event.
Thank you. All right, we have student services.
Yes, good evening. This Wednesday is National School Nurse Day. I just want to highlight the work that school nurses Janelle Sivum and Jean Winters do. They work tirelessly to meet the needs of our students by providing and advocating for the quality, student-centered care. Their work goes way beyond their direct contact with students. They create health plans for students who need them, are members of IEP teams for students with complex health needs, and collaborate with outside health professionals. So a big thank you for their work this week. I also wanted to highlight the Sparks program. Sparks is a new program that meets about once a month beginning in February, and it gives children enrolled in special education the opportunity to make projects to show at the Lodi Fair. Sparks is a grant-funded program through the Wisconsin Board for People with Developmental Disabilities, and the goal of the program is to give people with disabilities more social connections by participating in inclusive community activities. So a huge thank you for the individuals that are listed there: Dawn Collins, Leslie Scheibach, Renee Moldenhauer, Adora Bilsey, Ashley Anderson, and Kim Radspinner for their work with Sparks. They wanted me to extend an invitation to any member of the board that would like to come to their next meeting, which is May 15th, and it begins at 5:30 at the elementary school.
Thank you. All right, next we have Lodi Primary School.
Hi there. So for Pillar 1, right now we're in the middle of doing all of our assessments, so students are having an opportunity to show where they're currently performing and just to see the different progress that's being made. Pillar 2, Nurturing the Whole Child, we had an outstanding Stride with Pride, Lodi Pride event last week. Huge shout out to LCAT as well as Rebecca Eller and Heidi Endress, and then all of the parent volunteers. But it was a wonderful day. The weather was perfect. The kids really enjoyed it, so it was just a really fun opportunity. I also want to just highlight the vision and hearing screenings that we do at the primary school. You can see from the numbers there, just this early intervention, it does have a really great impact, and is being able to detect, students that might need additional supports in the area of hearing and vision as well. So thanks to Jean and Janelle, Emma, and Pam for helping complete that this previous just month or so ago. Heritage Park update, we are working on getting our final bids to make that last part of the Heritage Park finalized. It really comes down to this area by the slide that's just been eroding, and we just need to look at something long-term. So we're finalizing that and hopefully gonna get started shortly with that. And then just wanted to share, as it's Nurse Week, it's also Staff and Teacher Appreciation Week. And so just a huge shout out to all the staff for all of their hard work and what they've been doing for all of our students.
Thank you. Next, we have Student School Board Representative. You're the last one.
So on April 22nd, the Lodi Choir and Band Kids had the annual Sing and Swing to help raise money for the music program. There was a student rock band that played, which I thought was pretty cool. On the 26th, the sports and entertainment marketing class got to visit Camp Randall at the Overture Center. They got to go on the field at Camp Randall and see kind of behind the scenes of the Overture Center. Last week on May 4th, the 16 students from Germany for the German exchange arrived, and they will stay for around 2 weeks and they'll leave on May 22nd. This past weekend, the track had a great weekend actually. The Lodi Varsity Girls track won the Edgerton Invite with 120 points. There were 3 students that, always do amazing, but Lily Strong took first in the 100 and 200 meter dash, and I believe she also broke a school record or tied a school record. Olivia Hayroth took second in the 100 meter hurdles, and Lily Callahan took first in pole vault. She currently holds the record for pole vault. The boys also took second in the Edgerton Invite, with Zach Nyquist taking first in the 300 meter hurdles and Paul Lins taking second in the 1600 meter hurdle, or just 1600 meter. From May 2nd till May 11th, which is this Friday, students at the high school are taking their AP exams. I took mine last week. Made me feel like my brain melted. And the end of the school year is approaching, and graduation is coming. So senior honors night will be held on the 17th, and the senior trip will be held on the 19th of May.
Well, thank you. All right, next we have Lodi Elementary OSC.
Hello. So first things first, we have Pillar 1, and Nick kind of talked about it a little bit, but as we prepare for our adoption of a literacy program, it's hard to quantify the amount of time and energy that has gone into that process. So I wanted to make sure I recognized those team members. They're probably sick of spending time with me, but I really appreciate all they've done, and it excites me to be able to come to a decision where we can put high quality materials into the hands of expert teachers, and what outcomes we can have for students looking ahead. So that's super exciting for us. Also, we have a little bit of some pictures here. So some 4th graders were excited about their Ford exam and getting pumped up to do their best. There's also a note there of a staff member. And these are things that these happen all the time. So this is just one example of what people do to try to help kids throughout their day, not just during Ford exam. But that's just a little note that one of the staff members wrote for all the OSC students to help them do their best and encourage them. Pillar 2, setting students up for success. We had our Fine Arts Night and had a great showing from our community. Great work, Hunter Ald and Tekla Nimmo, for putting that together. Thank you to parents and community members who came and supported students. And then also, we recently had our OSC musical on Friday, which was another exciting thing. And then we've also added some spaces so to kind of help students be their best and get what they need. And then we've had some recent visitors. So just some normal everyday visitors. So, so Governor Evers and Senator Baldwin came, and it's just so great for students to be able to make things real. And I don't know if Governor Evers would want to come visit again, because our students asked some very great questions. And I would not have wanted to be the person answering them. And so it was just so good to see students take full advantage of the opportunity and to represent us with Lodi pride. And I think it spoke highly of the work of this community, but also of our building and our students. And then lastly, Nick kind of mentioned this, but hiring. We have a lot of exciting things going on in our building, and the amount of time and energy staff are putting into that because they care is just something that I'm super proud of our staff for doing. And we have some, like Nick mentioned, some great people joining our team. So.
Thank you.
Well, I was going to mention summer school. Is that what you want me to do now? Yeah? Does that work? Sure. Does that work? Yeah. So I know I didn't get on there as a specific update, but since you're talking about summer school today too, we wanted to update you, Amy and I and Emma, just a little bit of information. We have some new classes this year. So games galore, focus on the forest, let's dance, art around the world, Spanish, and volleyball fundamentals to name a few. Total number of classes offered last year were 31 classes, 10 BFS classes, 1 band, and 1 for the love of reading class that was just K2. This year we are offering 39 classes, 10 BFS classes, 1 band class, 1 FFA class, 1 leadership class, and 1 for the love of reading class that is K5. Total staff for this year versus last year we had 41 teachers and 23 assistants. This year we have 54 teachers and 31 assistants. And enrollment last year was 759, and this year, without counting band, FFA, or leadership yet, we're at 844. So we're super excited.
We are fully staffed, and I would say the majority of them are staff from our school district that are continuing to come back. So thank you for your support of the program, because it's having a huge impact so far, and we haven't even started.
Yep.
Thank you guys for all the work it takes. All right, Lodi Middle School.
All right, good evening, board. First thing I want to do is just honor the students of the month for March. They were nominated for improvement, and these students made tremendous growth throughout the school year and should be proud of their hard work. As all schools, we are in the midst of our iReady testing. We'll assess students in their knowledge of reading and mathematics through this week and all the way through next week, and we look forward to seeing the progress we've made for all the hard work the staff and students have put in this school year. Thanks to the student celebration team for all their hard work on the Matt Wilhelm presentation. He came on April 5th. And Matt Wilhelm is a BMX flatland rider and motivational speaker. And a BMX flatland rider, I learned, is somebody that really does a whole bunch of tricks on their bike. Is basically what it is. So in addition to performing some incredible tricks, Matt had an anti-bullying message that empowers kids to stand up for others, stand up for themselves, and be everyday heroes. And the feedback was that it was just a great presentation. He did an awesome job. So we are happy to have him. Want to acknowledge some middle school art students. Ethan LaPointe, 7th grade, Angelina Johnson, 8th grade, and Harrison Kieski in 8th grade. Their work was selected for the Wisconsin Youth Art Month display at Easttown Mall, and their work was on display the artwork was on display at Easttown Mall across the state until March 31st. So congratulations for those students. A community connection, Mandy Busser, registered nurse, spoke to 8th grade students about the path to a profession in the medical field. And I want to thank Sarah Gleiss for organizing that opportunity for all of our 8th graders. Moving on to Administrative Assistance Day, I just want to thank Carrie and Leslie for all they do. And I know I speak for everybody that our administrative assistants are really like the lifeline of our district. Like when you walk into a building, that is like the first person you talk to, and I know my administrative assistants are amazing, but I also know like throughout our district, like we just have amazing people. And like the amount that they do for our building, not only for our staff, but for the kids that come in each day and the way they support them is truly amazing. So I just want to take a second to really honor them, as well as honor for National Library Week, Paula Town and Lori Gwynn for all they do to set our library up in an amazing way, make it inviting, and get them books in their hands. We had last year, I didn't track as many this year, but we had like a record number of books checked out for our middle school LMC, and I just want to really acknowledge all the work they do putting into finding interesting books for our kids to read. We had another dance party on April 6th. This time we had 120 students attend the dance, and it was a great time. And then I want to thank Michelle Howe for organizing the middle school science fair again this year. We had 34 students participated by asking questions, developed and used models, planned and carried out an investigation, analyzed and interpreted data, constructed explanations, and communicated out the information. And then after school, they had a little celebration, and you can see the award winners listed there. And that is all from Lodi Middle School.
Wow, thank you. Last but not least, Lodi High School.
Thanks, Heather. First of all, a couple student recognitions. We have chosen the 2023-24 and 24-25 STEM Academy participants, and they are Lexi Birchler and Zion Kurtz. So they had to go through a lengthy application process, so congratulations to them and their families. The next one is a senior named Lexi Meek. So you've probably heard of the Cole Foundation Scholarship, and there's the excellent scholarships that some of our staff members and students have gotten over the years. Well, Lexi received a $10,000 initiative scholarship, which is given to 100 graduating high school students in public, religious, and independent schools. She The meaning of the scholarship is to recognize students who are putting forth the extraordinary effort to do their best in the classroom and have overcome significant obstacles and adversity. So congratulations to Lexi Meek for receiving this award. In the classroom, I want to thank Sue Ziegler, our business ed teacher, for letting me tag along on this field trip. I had a vested interest in this field trip because I was able to go see my son do his work. So he's an alumni, and he's the football communication coordinator for the UW football team. It was great to learn a little bit about what that was like, and also to be able to go to the Overture Center as well. So we learned about sports and what that looks like in marketing, but also in the arts. So to visit those two venues was pretty amazing for our students. So thank you, Sue, for setting that up and letting me tag along. Sing and Swing was mentioned by Anna. I know I saw Vince there. I'm assuming Derek was there. It was an amazing event. Our kids are really, really talented. I didn't want to leave. I wanted more by the time I was done. The rock band was pretty cool. It was just an amazing night, and you can see lots of pictures there. We even had somebody playing the accordion, and believe it or not, it was amazing. Of course, they played a polka song, so it was a great evening. Outstanding Impact Awards, I know Vince is going to talk a little bit about that, so I'll let him speak to that. We did have Fine Arts Night, which recognizes our fall musical, spring play, forensics, and our art students, and our advisors do an amazing job getting them ready. You heard forensics tonight. They do a great job. There are some upcoming performances that you can come to if you'd like to at the high school, including the concert, band, and choir will be this May 11th. Obviously, graduation, you've gotten some invitations for that, and then there's the Memorial Day Parade. We do have Germans that are here, and we had a pep rally today. There was an intense game of musical chairs, which the Germans learned about for the first time. And our choir sang the German national anthem, and our band played the American national anthem. Miss Sarah Gleiss, who runs the program with Mason Kittleson, I really appreciate them. We had a prom. It was successful. I wanted to congratulate Kogan Barron and Gabby Getline. They were voted by their classmates as the 2023 prom royalty. You can see their picture there, so congratulations to them. And I would say in my years that I've been in the high school, the decorations and the food was the best it's ever been. I really enjoyed the food. So it was really, based on the budget that they have, they did a really, really great job. So thank you to that. There was Agricultural Product Day and Day on the Farm. I'll let you read about that, but 50 high school students participated and over 200 elementary students were there. So thank you to our ag kids for helping with it. There's some information about senior snippets, some things that are coming up. We did have our jobs fair, same as last year, and again, close to 30 area businesses were there. It was really productive. Kids seemed to really like it. You can see our students of the month. And as Derek talked about, the last piece I have there is our Administrative Assistance Day. So Pam Cunningham, Kathy Trine, and Lynn Werderitz, like Derek said, they are the face of Lodi High School. They take all the phone calls. They greet everybody that walks into the building, so I really appreciate them. And they were definitely showered with lots of gifts from not just us, but all kinds of staff members that came by, and thank them. And then the last part is a video from our advocate broadcasting kids, so you can look at that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, District Administrator Report.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a couple items to the LCAT report. They are having a vaping presentation Wednesday night, this Wednesday, May 10th, about teenagers and vaping. I would encourage everybody from elementary school through high school to go. A lot of times we think, oh, it's a high school issue. You really need to start learning about that when your kids are in elementary school, so you know at the spot, because vape is really marketed towards our kids. And so you need to know what to look for and how to have a conversation with the kids. So it's at the high school at 6 p.m. This Wednesday. LCAT is also sponsoring a summer safety fair the same day as open house for summer school, which is June 8th, 3:30 to 6:30. And they'll have booths kind of talking about water safety, injury prevention, sun protection, car seat protection, lawnmower safety, all the things you kind of think about that happen in summer, right? And we just want to make sure that our kids in our community are safe. So just an opportunity to pop in. Again, if your kids are going to summer school, they're there for open house, come see those things. Secondly, Outstanding Impact Awards. We held those on Monday, April 17th. We just really appreciate the Lodi Rotary Club for partnering with us, the district, over the past 30 years and hosting that. It is an opportunity for not only to honor our kids, but then for our students to also honor staff who've had an outstanding impact on their lives, but it's just a small portion, right? Because we only had 10 kids there, but all of our kids would have somebody who had an outstanding impact on their life. And you never know when that moment is. When you talk to these kids, you never know, why did you pick this person? There are moments that the staff would never guess that that's why they picked. It's just the constant interaction that you have on a day-to-day basis. And thanks to the board members, Christy Morris, Adam Steinberg, Terry Egg, and Heather Barron for attending that. Art opportunity. Tekla Nimmo, who is our primary school, elementary school SC art teacher, has an idea about how we could showcase art here at the board level. Her suggestion is that we as a board, everybody goes to the fair and picks out 2 pieces of art at the fair. And you pick your number 1 and number 2 in case people pick the same one. And then whenever we pick that, and if you don't make it, then let us know and we can have alternates that we can look at. But then we will take those pieces that you pick, frame them, and place them behind you on the wall here for the year. And we would invite the families to come in September for a framing ceremony and place them on the wall. And then every year we could redo it. Just a nice way to honor our students who are doing their artwork. So I thought it was a great idea. She came and approached me about it, so I said I would share it here, and I thought the board would love it. But
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So we'll be able to do that. I have a whole lot of other things we can talk about, but the last couple I just want to talk about is a Nurse Appreciation Week, which has been mentioned again. Obviously, over the last few years, we've really come to understand how important our school nurses are, and all nurses are. And then finally, it's Teacher and Staff Appreciation Week. Please do everything you can to reach out to staff members, whether it's your kids are there or it's a staff member you had when you were a kid. Reach out and just say thank you. They put in a lot of time and energy and effort, and they, tons of hours, tons of passion, tons of work, and usually you don't hear from parents to say thank you, right? You hear from them things aren't going well, right? And it's just great to reach out and say thank you from time to time. So please take the moment to do that, because our staff is phenomenal. I know we have some stuff going up on social media. I sent a letter to the editor. We sent something out to all parents today, just reminding them that it's this week. We should appreciate them all year long, but this is the week we really should do it. So that is all I have.
Okay. Board President report. That's me, I forgot. I just want to thank the community for putting me in this position. And then I want to thank my fellow board members for the confidence for me to be president. I'm going to, I'm sure, make mistakes. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm going to try my hardest. I'm still learning so much. I'm looking over at Adam a lot to give me pointers, and everybody keeps nudging me on different things, and I appreciate that. I also just want to say that we are a board, and I can speak confidently for all of us that we are dedicated. We want the best for this district. And we love to discuss things and make decisions, but we are still individuals, and we have to be better about maybe saying we are only talking for ourselves sometimes, but I also want the community just to understand that. So our board decisions, as you guys watch these meetings, we come to decisions, and you can hear our discussions, and hopefully those discussions are, you feel heard or you feel represented. But remember that sometimes we are still individuals, we have our own opinions, and we are gonna say stuff. And if you don't agree with that, I don't want you being turned away forever coming to us and speaking your mind, emails. We wanna hear the good, we wanna hear the bad, we wanna hear it all. We are here for you guys. And that goes for staff, goes for parents, kids, everything. So I just wanna make that clear, that even if you disagree with someone, that doesn't mean that the whole board feels that way, and it doesn't mean that we don't want to hear from people. So that's just what I kind of wanted to say, and I also wanted to just say that, like Vince and everybody's touched on, please reach out to your kids' parent or your kids' teachers, staff. I knew this from when I had kids in the district, and I still do, but even when my first one, I was amazed at just how a school district works together. And now being in this position, I see it even more. So please, always, just every little thank you, I'm sure they love hearing it, because they hear a lot of other yucky stuff too. And also, I just want to say that if you guys are able to get out and see stuff that our kids are doing, it's amazing. It makes me feel so proud. I always try to get to my own kids' stuff, but then to watch other kids and actually relax and not have to videotape and be stressed and see where they are, it's really fun. And volunteering, I did Stride with Pride last week. It's just great. You talk to parents, you talk to teachers, you see these kids so excited. It makes you feel so good to be in this community. So if you ever have a chance to volunteer or get in the district just to see things in action, it's amazing. So, thank you. All right, next on the agenda is the COVID mitigation.
Yeah, so this has been on our agenda for about 2 years, 3 years. So the District Medical Advisory Committee met last week and are recommending no changes to our current COVID mitigation strategies for the remainder of this school year. However, they are recommending that our current mitigation strategy be dropped at the end of the school year. The Medical Advisory Committee also reviewed and put forth a recommendation for the board to consider regarding communicable diseases notifications for the 23-24 school year. So one of the things we kind of look for is like, what's the lemonade that came out of COVID? What are some good things that came out of COVID? We have done a much better job of identifying or sharing information with families when we've had other illnesses, not just COVID, but strep throat, flu, so then people can make decisions. So we kind of talked about our school nurses putting together, like, when would they notify when these different diseases happen, a classroom or a school, and then that went through the Medical Advisory Committee and they put together a recommendation that that's what we would follow next year, so they kind of have an idea. I would recommend that the board accept the recommendation of the Medical Advisory Committee as presented.
I just have a question about the notifications to families. How time consuming is that for our nurses and staff?
Yeah. So we talked about that. That was one of the things as we had a discussion. We want to make it doable, right? Something that was easy. And they felt this was doable. Like, they didn't feel like this was overly burdensome at all. They felt it was something that it allowed families, it allowed them to do their job and do other things. And they've kind of, the system's down pretty well now that they can just notify a grade level or a class pretty easily. And they felt it was just important that we let families know. Ultimately, the more we let them know, the healthier. You know, it sounds like, well, you're letting them know kids are sick, so they should stay out of school, but it keeps kids healthier, so they're in school more. Yeah. Right. So that's the idea. So they feel it's doable. That was one of the things I can continue to bring up. Like, let's not be overly burdensome, and so as we walk through this, we tweaked it a little bit to make sure it was done right.
Okay, because that was what I mean, obviously during COVID, I just felt like we were sending emails.
It was.
So often, and I know it's not as much, but I still don't want to burden them with that okay.
No, they think it's doable.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the recommendations of the Medical Advisory Committee.
And I will second that.
Motion by Adam, second by Terry. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
I'd just like to add a couple more things about the Medical Advisory Committee. So May was the last time we are scheduled to meet. So big thank you to Jean Winters, Janelle Spiam, and Mo Palmer for meeting and collaborating on that committee. And also a huge shout out to the doctors for getting up their time and expertise on behalf of students, staff, and families. Dr. Andrea Chow from the Lodi Clinic, Dr. Masura Furukawa from the River Valley Clinic, Dr. Nathan Grunwald from Sauk Prairie Healthcare, and Dr. Sabrina Buteris from the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and Public Health. They just give up their time, their lunch hours, pro bono, and we're always available for a call or a question or things like that. So they give a lot of time for this community and took some flack, right, from this community as well, but did so with, again, the best interest of our students and our staff and our community at heart. So we really appreciate the time and energy that they have. And we may see if we can get them here for a TPS award, if possible, or something of that nature. So.
Well, and Vince, Dr. Chow remains our medical advisor.
She is our medical advisor, and they are willing to meet at any time if we have something come up and pull together. They are willing to meet, and that's one of the, again, one of the things that came out of COVID. It's very nice. Like, I now have access to the University of Wisconsin public health system, and I've known Dr. Chow for a long, long time, but it's, even brought us close. I mean, I know her better, right? So continue those communications.
All right, Lacrosse Proposal. I was just gonna say, I have a feeling everybody's gonna leave after this. Exodus.
So, I'm gonna ask for some patience, because I'm gonna have to go over some of the stuff that a lot of you heard at our committee level, but this is also going out to the community, right? So the community needs to hear this as well. So, at the meeting on December 2nd, 2022, the WIA Board of Control approved the addition of lacrosse as a sanctioned sport with a tournament series for both boys and girls in the spring, starting in the spring of 2024. This is the first time the WIA has added a sport for both boys and girls at the same time since they added soccer in 1982 and 83. So there has been an active boys lacrosse club team in Sauk Prairie, which you've heard about, which included several Lodi students. They're very competitive. They've won a state title in 2017. With the addition of lacrosse now being WIA sport, before the district it was a club, so we weren't really involved. Well, now that it's a sport, Sauk Prairie is asking us to be a co-op, so for our kids to participate, we have to join that co-op or they can't play.
It was a club like curling.
Yes, exactly, yep. The district has not received any requests for adding girls lacrosse at this time, just the boys lacrosse team. So anytime we look to add a sport, it takes time, right? To the frustration of the parents and the students who are involved, it takes it's a process, right? So our athletic director, Sue Meffert, worked in conjunction with the middle school and high school administrative teams, our director of student services. They engaged in a process to see if the district could support joining a boys lacrosse team, and if the district would continue to meet our Title IX obligations if they were to add boys lacrosse. In the course of this Title IX review, the athletic department conducted a survey of our families and students grades 6 through 11, because those are the ones impacted by if lacrosse was added. The survey results showed that there was interest in adding boys lacrosse in the spring of 2024. Sauk Prairie is offering to be the host school and fiscal agent for the lacrosse team. The team would include Sauk Prairie High School, Lodi High School, Baraboo High School, Wisconsin Dells High School, and River Valley High School. The cost of the program with an estimated 5 to 6 students would be between $3,500 and $6,500 per season, depending on how many kids participate from each of the different schools. Since it's an established club, Sport of Lacrosse, with students from Lodi High School currently participate in, and since there's an interest among our students, adding lacrosse falls within our Title IX guidelines, it makes sense for the district to offer this program to our students. We'll also look at some possible girls' sports that we could offer at times. The number one that pops up is gymnastics, with a lot of interest, but we really don't have any partners that are willing to co-op with us in girls' gymnastics. But there's other things we can look at as well. The curriculum committee of the board reviewed this recommendation at their meeting on April 19th. They unanimously recommended to the full board the approval to join the Sauk Prairie Lacrosse Co-op starting in the spring of 23-24.
I will move to join the boys Sauk Prairie Lacrosse Co-op starting in the spring of 2023-24.
I'll second.
Motion by Christie, second by Sarah. Any discussion? All in favor?
Games?
Oops.
What's that?
Games, matches?
Games.
Game.
Will there be any games in Lodi?
So there is a game on the 16th? 18th. Close. There is a game that they're going to have here in Lodi. And yes, once we start doing one of the things, when we put the stadium together, the turf, and as mentioned here, right, there's lacrosse lines on our, because we knew lacrosse was one of the fastest growing sports in the country. So it made sense, and it didn't really cost us a whole lot to put lines on compared to having to add lines after the fact. But yes, we will have a game on the 18th, and then as we become a co-op, all the different schools will be able to host some games. I don't know exactly what, like, if Dells can host if they have spot, but we would absolutely be hosting some games.
Is it just Sauk and Lodi that's gonna co-op right now, or is there more?
No, it's Dells, it's River Valley, it's Baraboo,
Okay.
then us.
So 5?
Yeah, I think it's 5,
schools?
yep. That's what I read.
How many,
Does that seem
how
right,
many,
gentlemen?
Wisconsin Heights.
Wisconsin Heights, I missed
how
Wisconsin
many
Heights.
athletes make up a team? I don't know anything about lacrosse. I mean, I know what lacrosse is, but I don't know much about it.
10 on the field at
I
one
mean,
time.
total, how many,
A healthy team is about 25.
and how many students from, that currently go to the Lodi School District are planning to go out for the sport, do we know?
Right now, there's 2 seniors and 2 freshmen
So four total?
right now.
We have some 8th graders
there's
that will
eighth
be
grade.
flying next year in high school.
We estimated between 5 and 6, starting next year.
Well, I commend you guys that came tonight and spoke up in support for your interest. It takes a lot of guts to do that, so I commend you guys for doing that. It's not easy. It's a good job.
It's great to hear from you.
All right, should we vote? Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations. Hopefully we'll be down the 18th.
Thanks, guys.
You can stay for the rest.
You can stay?
You can stick around the whole time, or you can go.
Thank you.
It's a school night.
Next is food service fees, so if you guys. That's great. Thank you. You guys can breathe, right? Everybody breathe. They need to eat, they had breakfast. Yeah. They did. Thank you. All right, next is the food service fees.
Yeah, each school year, the school district of Lodi submits a budget to DPI identifying projected year-end balance for the ensuing fiscal years for food service programs. We're currently projecting a deficit going into the next school year with no changes due to increasing food costs and increasing revenues. Taher has shared a number of recommendations with us to try to bring the 23-24 ending balance budget into balance. Their memos attached in board docs. The meal price increase are one of the components of that proposal. There's not been an increase in lunch prices for the past several years or meal prices. The administration is recommending that we approve the food prices. This was taken to the Facility and Finance Committee. They reviewed the recommendation and unanimously moved it to the full board with a recommendation of approval.
I move to approve food service prices for the 2023-2024 school year as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion by Adam, second by Terry. Any further discussion?
I just had a quick question with that. I was laughing at this agenda item because I think every day last week I added $10 to our account because my children just keep taking stuff on a
Just
daily
wait till they're
basis.
all in high school, you'll get a call every day, trust me.
And I keep getting that lovely notification, I'm like, oh, they keep adding. My daughter had mentioned recently, because I said something, I'm like, man, why am I always adding to our food bill or whatever? And Maddie said, well, the prices went up. And I said, are you sure? She goes, yeah, she was gonna take a picture of it for me, I guess it's posted, but here I see it, prices have not gone up.
Not the lunch prices. So a la carte stuff may have gone up.
That's what's killing you.
And as a student, right, and I know, again, we talked about
We've
this.
been there.
We've all lived there, right? We've had students go through high school, and I will have one next year. But yes, that they will go through a la carte. Those prices have tweaked and been, our lunch prices.
Locks on what they're allowed to.
You sure can.
You sure can. Oh, yes, you can.
Things you have to ask in a board
No,
meeting, sorry.
She's probably watching this thing Friday.
I know.
What did they tell me?
It was a killer when you had
Okay.
three at school.
We typically had conversations about what you could get and how much.
We did too, I blocked.
How much?
None of those things held now we're in high school. Ice cream,
High
it's all
school's
down the
different.
bill, so. Okay, so lunch prices have not gone up, it's
Lunch,
all.
yeah, this is just a food service, like, so lunches, breakfast, milk. Milk has gone up significantly, 39 cents a carton. So,
I was gonna share this in my Facility and Finance Committee meeting report, but I think it bears just stating here, and I think it's in this information too, but just to kind of summarize. Brent was talking about roughly a $72,000 deficit for the food service program this year. The prices that we're talking about here would cut into that by about $20,000, I think you said. So they'll still be looking at ways to try to make up the rest of that, those funds at some point.
Brent, didn't you even say like it's not just even the cost of milk, it's also the cartons? I mean, it's both.
Farmers
Ridiculously
are not
high.
getting as much for milk, but paper is costing more, so there you go with little cartons.
Well, obviously, we're seeing it at the grocery store, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
everywhere.
It's everywhere.
So it makes
Unfortunately.
sense. so everyone anyone in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0. We have employer health insurance contribution.
Yeah, as part of the 2022 referendum, the district committed to increasing the district's contribution to health insurance for employees by $50,000. They did last year and they did it again for this year. Facility and Finance Committee recommended approving a contribution of $425 for a family plan and $200 for a single plan. Just as a point of reference, the district has been able to had a secure rate lock for the last 3 years. This is the last year of that rate lock. So we will be looking at insurance again as next year. Like, do we continue on with our current insurance? Do we look at other ways? So this distribution has the district picking up about 74% of a family HMO plan and 75% of a single plan. The district's goal is always to try to stay right around 80%. We haven't been there for a while, but it's something that we'll just have to continue to look at.
I make a motion to approve an increase for the 2023-24 district health insurance contribution by $425 for a family plan and $200 for a single plan.
Second. Motion by Angie, second by Christie. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Next, base salary and co-curricular increase.
Also, as part of the referendum, the plan was to increase our starting salary for teaching staff in the district each year. Facility and Finance Committee reviewed the recommendation and voted unanimously to move the full board recommendation of approval, moving our Bachelor of Arts and Science degree from $40,000 to $41,000, our co-curricular base from $40,000 to $41,000, starting teacher with master's degree salary from $43,150 to $44,150. So up $1,000 for each of those.
I make a motion to move to increase the starting teacher of a Bachelor of Science art degree from $40,000 to $41,000 and the co-curricular base from $40,000 to $41,000 and starting teacher with a master's degree salary from $43,150 to $44,150.
I'll second.
I think there's a typo where it says the co-curricular base from 40,000 to 41,000.
I think maybe it should say and the co-curricular base.
Unless I'm reading that wrong. What's the difference?
The co-curricular base should be exactly the same as the base pay. So they both should be up to $41,000.
I'm reading it, I read something wrong on the attachment, never mind.
Okay, so motion by Adam, second by Angie. Any further discussion? Anybody, or, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0. We have the Co-Curricular Code of Conduct Handbook.
Yeah, Mr. Jelenic, Mr. Marshall, and Ms. Mefford have submitted the revised 23-24 Co-Curricular Code of Conduct to the Board of Education for approval, something that we do every year. They attached a memo that shows the minor changes that were made for each year, but we recommend that you approve that because they will have their fall sports meeting before our next board meeting. Hard to believe. That's the way it works.
Joe, I always get confused on the whole span of when they can get coded for, first and second offense. So it's not just the school year. It's
the calendar year.
Okay, so it's a whole year.
It's a whole year, yeah.
Okay, and then if somebody, let's say somebody wants, I don't wanna say tattle, but let's say somebody brings the phone in and says, this person was doing this, and it was months ago, you can still get in trouble for that?
Yes.
Okay, what if it's like a year ago? I'm just curious,
If it's outside the calendar year, then no.
Okay,
Yep.
Invitation.
that's what I was
Yes,
wondering, yeah.
If it's outside the calendar year, then no, it wouldn't.
Okay, okay. All right, I'm just curious.
So again, one of the things, being a high school principal for a long time, the code of conduct is really a tool for parents to use, right? It's when you have that conversation with your child about decisions you're making and what's important in life, and Is playing, is forensics more important than some of the choices you might make that would get you in trouble, so you couldn't do forensics? Most parents don't see it that way, but that's really what that tool is for. It's to help parents have those conversations, another way to have those conversations with your children about choices you can make, because we all are faced with choices that we have to make.
So another thing in there on page 13, it says, a violation is having AI submit your paper for you or write your paper for you. That should stay in there, but I don't think teachers and the rest of people know how to identify that and know what that is. And so I'm mentioning that so that we have professional development on that in the coming year.
Absolutely.
That can be taken.
Although I'm amazed at how they do catch it. I mean, from what I've heard.
We felt that it was necessary to add it.
Oh, for sure.
We kept it very vague because there's a lot of information we need to learn and it's changing every day, and you're correct. We do need to have more conversations about it for sure, and staff development about it. Yes.
The only reason they're catching it is because the students aren't smart enough and just entering the process.
So
that's changing quickly.
Brings me to another question though. What about, there's tools out there when you write essays, is it Grammarly or something I think my kids have used in college? Grammarly? I mean, that's okay to use? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all built in.
It's
Oh,
more
is it?
That's
Okay.
more fixing technical issues
Okay.
that you're writing.
It's not literally writing it for
Now
you.
you're
No, I know that, yeah, no, I know it's not doing that, but I just,
But there will have to be a
Because
lot
it's
of
a-
professional development done on AI.
I
And
don't-
ChatGPT or BARD or whatever one you want to talk about. They're powerful tools.
It's always changing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You can always ask the kid to spell something that was in it.
Hey Siri, how do you spell?
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the amended 2023-2024 Co-Curricular Code of Conduct.
I'll second.
Motion by Adam, second by Sarah. Any further discussion?
No?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
You didn't get Scott,
Oh, I thought he said aye.
did he? He's not here.
Scott, you're not listening. Did you vote? Are you in favor of the code of conduct?
Oh, yeah.
I was listening, but yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Just kidding. All right, staff handbooks.
Again, just going and looking at towards next year, the submitted faculty handbook revisions are a step in planning for next school year. We have the elementary OSC one, middle school handbook, high school handbook. Just a reminder, the board approved the primary school staff handbook last month. So just recommend approval.
I make a motion to approve recommending 2023-2024 revision and changes to the faculty handbook for Lodi Elementary School, OSC, Lodi Middle School, and Lodi High School.
I'll second that.
Motion by Adam, second by Terry. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0. We have first reading policy.
Yeah, so policy committee met on April 19th. They continue the work on current policies as well as the transition to Neola. The committee reviewed and unanimously moved to the board the recommendation of approval in Narcan policy, a revision to our current summer school policy, and an incident report revision. Policy committee also reviewed and unanimously moved to the board 42 Neola policies that are listed in board docs. Just a reminder, I said this every month, but plan for the transition Neola policies. We give the policies a first read, then we'll set them aside for a second read when they're all done. So we move the whole policy handbook together as one. So no actions needed at this time. Just a great thank you to the policy committee for all
How long are these meetings taking? We're getting better.
Just so I know.
We're
You
getting
guys
better.
are.
I'm so excited to join.
Depends on it depends on what these policies are. That's what slows you down or speeds you.
Yeah. Keep moving, keep moving.
You can't daydream.
Daydreaming, okay.
All right, we do have second reading.
Yeah, so we do have a second read for revisions to Exhibit 830, Facility Use Fee Schedule, which was approved at the Policy Committee in March, and the first reading at the last board in April. We're looking for a motion to approve the revision of Exhibit 830.
I make a motion to move to approve revisions to Exhibit 830.
Second that.
Motion by Adam, second by Terry. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0. And we do not have anything for gifts, donations. Committee reports. CISA 5.
It's Wednesday.
Okay. Tell me how it goes, I missed them. Co-curricular items / report.
Nope, that's me now.
Oh, that's right, I was looking over that one.
Baseball, the Lodi baseball team is 13-3 and remains undefeated in conference play at 6-0. The baseball team is in the midst of a 7-game winning streak with recent wins coming over Evansville, Columbus, and DeForest. They have a busy schedule this week, hosting Dodgeville tonight, traveling to Lake Mills on Tuesday, and wrapping up the week at home on Thursday and Friday against Lake Mills and River Valley. Friday night's game will also be youth night with pregame photos and postgame ice cream for attendees. The Lodi softball team has an overall record of 7-8 and a conference record of 2-5. This past week, they celebrated senior night, honoring seniors Mackenzie Christofferson, Taylor Thayer, and Sam Edge. This week is jam-packed with softball, with the team hosting Westfield tonight, traveling to Poynette for a doubleheader tomorrow, and Luther Prep on Friday. The Lodi girls soccer team has an overall record of 7-3-1 and remains undefeated in conference play at 4-0. Recent events include hosting a soccer quad this past Saturday and hosting First Responders Night on Thursday with members of the Lodi Police Department and Lodi Area Fire Department in attendance. They host Dodgeville Mineral Point tonight for youth night, host Lake Mills on Tuesday for senior night, travel to Evansville on Friday. Track and field team is having another strong season with the girls team clinching their 5th straight Capital Conference championship. Lodi senior Paul Linz took home a strong fifth place finish at the Hale Distance Night, running second best 1,600 time in school history. This past weekend, the team competed at the Miram Invitational.
Sounds good.
Okay. At Arrowhead High School. Top 10 finishers included Paul Linz, 800 meters, 7th place, Lily Strong, 100 meter, 3rd place, 200 meter, 5th place, long jump, 8th place, and Lily Callahan, pole vault, 9th place. This week, the team heads to Belleville on Friday night for next Tuesday's conference meet in Marshall. The golf team is currently in 2nd place in the conference. At the 5th conference mini-meet this past Tuesday, they took 3rd place just behind Columbus. The team competed at Lac La Belle Country Club in Oconomowoc on Saturday and took 12th place out of 28 teams. They will be playing at Black Hawk Country Club on Monday at a big invite, and they will be in their 6th conference mini-meet on Tuesday at House on the Rock. Forensics, on April 21st, the Lodi Forensics team competed in the WHSFA State Forensics Meet. Lodi took home 3 gold medals for perfect scores, 4 silver medals, and 2 bronze medals. It's a lot.
There's a lot going on.
A lot of good things, a lot going on too.
Cool. OSC report.
I have a meeting, or they have a meeting on the 24th, I think it is.
Great. And board committee reports, personnel.
We have covered everything that we did in personnel already, so.
Yeah, we did talk a lot about personnel.
We talked a lot, we're all personnel.
Curriculum.
Well, we had a long discussion about lacrosse and curriculum, and that's been taken care of. But also Ms. Cray came and really did a nice job of going over the music program. And, you know, there was no downsides. It was like, you're like this all the time because there was so much happening in music. And I don't know how she keeps time for any of it, or even the students involved, because they're just turning around and doing the next thing. Did say that probably replacing digital pianos in the piano lab will be an issue at some point, so. And then Eric talked about it already, and Nick making the decision, final decisions about the textbooks or the curriculum books for coming up. So.
All right. Facility and finance.
Yep, Facility and Finance met last Wednesday. Topics that we discussed included the food service fees, which we already hit on as a full board tonight. We talked about the Highway 60 property and future potential for projects there. There was a discussion about whether we should do soil borings or if we should wait on that pending some additional information. We decided to wait, and then we'll probably discuss that at our next meeting if we want to go forward with the soil borings for the possibility of green space projects. We discussed the middle space, green space puzzle that we did. The meeting occurred within the last month or two, perhaps. One of the things that came out of that was, is it possible to maybe put a varsity baseball field behind the middle school, and our engineers reported back that they really didn't think that was feasible or that there was appropriate space to do that. So we'll keep looking at our options there. We talked about the base pay and the co-curricular compensation, which we discussed tonight. And then we got some updates on the 2022-2023 budget from Brent. I put in quotes tracking favorably. I think Brent must have said that, with his real not only concern, but one of his concerns being the food service that we also talked about. And then we discussed the 2023-2024 budget, and what came out of that was learning some more about Adam and Vince, having a listening session with Senator Ballwig, advocating for school budgets. That was our meeting.
Sounds like you guys just talked all the time.
Got a lot accomplished.
Yeah. Policy committee.
We, as you know, just anniversary of a lot of policies. We were clipping along. I am happy to pass that baton to you. It was a lot of work, but actually I enjoyed it because we were able to have really good conversation around it. I appreciated those that I served on the committee with during that time for the welcomes conversation, and I felt like it was time well spent. So. Yeah.
All right, future meetings and agenda items. So we have a special board meeting coming up Monday, May 15th at 5:30. Our next regular school board meeting is Monday, June 12th at 5:30 closed and 6:30 is open. Personnel committee is on Tuesday, June 6th at 4:30. Curriculum committee is Wednesday, May 17th at 4:30. Policy committee is Wednesday, May 17th at 6 o'clock. And facility and finance committee is Tuesday, June 6th at 6 o'clock. And remember, those personnel and facility and finance are on Tuesday, not Wednesday next month.
Will they always be that, or is that
Just that.
No, it's
Just those.
Just
that,
those.
that Wednesday is the last day of school.
Yeah.
So if we want staff who want to come to that, they're probably not going to show. Last day for staff. So we moved them up to Tuesday.
Graduation is the 28th? Right, yes.
Yes.
Someone should know, right? You, Joe?
28th.
28th, 1 p.m.?
Yes.
We have a letter next to
You have
you.
a letter invitation.
inviting
It's in your letter.
Oh,
You have a letter.
I was wondering what the letter was.
You got an invitation.
I was afraid of.
No, we won't have another one. Never mind, I lied. I know, I did lie. May is busy. Okay.
And then, I know, so then the last day of school breakfast, we are all invited to, right?
Correct. So we will have breakfast on the 7th, Tuesday the 7th at 7:30 in the Commons at the high school. We'll have breakfast there, and then we recognize our years of service and retirees. We're planning on doing that in the Performing Arts Center after breakfast. So it's a nice morning to recognize all of our employees, and it's a great time for board members to be there. If you're there, we will put you into service, handing out pins and plaques and those types of things. So if you can make it, that's great. Obviously, we know not everybody can make it because of jobs and things like that.
It's like 2 hours left, really?
It's about 2 hours, yeah.
And you said the 7th?
The 7th, yep.
Today's graduation.
The 28th.
Thank you.
That's in here.
And we do not need to go back to closed session.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Do I take roll call for that one?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Oh, I'm sure there's board meetings in which someone